Hello, welcome to this your channel of the better Eurofan. That's me. Spain comes from organizing the last edition held in Madrid, who was the very first Eurovision event celebrated in the Iberian country after many decades. In this case, the fun and autochthonous proposal presented by Chloe de la Rosa during last year's contest as hostess was in charge of cheering up the audience, which led her to an outstanding 6th place in the final ranking, proving that Spain is still a strong contender in the competition by keeping a desirable record for many. That is not happening at the moment in the senior edition. The continuation of its participation was not in that at all, and for that we will get to know the next artist that has took the baton from her to wave the Spanish colors in Wilisi. Here we go. For today's episode, I'm going to review the Spanish entry for Junior Eurovision 2025, which will be represented by the singer Gonzalo Pinillos with the song Érase Una Vez, Once Upon a Time. Before getting immersed into his world of tales, let's see more about this young but experimental artist that wants to conquer the rest of Europe with his innate talent. Without further delay, let's move on with the review. We start as usual checking out his biography prior to his Eurovision adventure in the Caucasian country. Gonzalo is a Spanish singer, pianist, and musical theater actor. He is 14 years old and comes from the Spanish capital, Madrid. He demonstrates a wide interest for music since very early age, starting piano and musical theory studies at the age of 6. And during his school years, he was part of the school's children's choir, with which he will be also developing his singing skills. In the other hand, he will be also quite linking in with the musical theater world since his childhood, starting to take acting classes in an acting school with which he will develop his acting facet, taking advantage of his skills as a singer and pianist as well to gain experience and maturity as a performer. Eventually, thanks to his wide talent, he will not take too long on giving his first text in musical theater in 2020, and since then he is very active in several productions at a professional level, consolidating himself very quickly as one of the most outstanding musical theater actors on the local theater scene. In fact, currently he is studying a degree in acting for film and television, so surely he will not take too long on giving also his first test as a film and television actor. As of today, he has taken part in several musical theater productions, standing out his participations in the musical adaptations of the film School of Rock Les Choristas, and most recently Oliver Twist, which has premiered right this month, that also balances with his high school studies. Musically speaking, he cites among his musical influences to Spanish artists like Aitana and David Bisbal, and to international artists like Olivia Rodrigo, Bruno Mars, and Sebastian Yatra. In the other hand, in addition to his both musical and acting phases, Gonzalo has many personal interests that help him to enrich them. He is very passionate about travel, he plays chess, even participating in professional competitions, practices many sports such as basketball, surfing, swimming, and especially skiing. It is also known that Gonzalo stands out for being a quite instinctive student, but in the scientific subjects, particularly in math, and the humanitarian subjects, particularly in literature. And that is because his parents encouraged him curiosity for reading since he was very little, being a part of his daily life since ever, having a taste for a wide diversity of literary genres according to himself. And even he has developed some facet as a writer, by winning awards with essays written by himself in literature contests at his school. If it was not enough, he is also a huge fan of both Eurovision and Junior Eurovision, citing among his main icons from both competitions to Chanel, Melanie Garcia, and Sandra Valero, having also the dream of being at the stage of any other contest someday. In fact, he had his first time on last year, where he was one of the finalists during the internal selection process, in which Chloe de la Rosa will be selected, as we already know. But far from discouraging him and keeping persistent in his dream, he will try it again this year, without imagining that this will be his second time lucky. Let's see then how his Eurovision adventure begins. Following its usual strategy, the Spanish public broadcaster would opt once again for an internal selection process for the search of both the artist and the song that would represent the country in Georgia. The submission period would be open in late last May for the child artists who wanted to take part in the process, closing it in late last June. After the deadline, it was known that the broadcaster received a total of 270 applications, a little lower compared to last year, but still successfully there. Thereafter, an expert panel will be in charge of shortlisting the child artists that will participate in the live audition space at the broadcaster studios in last mid-July, being Gonzalo among the finalists like last year. In those auditions, each finalist will perform a couple of songs as well to be evaluated from the same expert panel. A few days after the auditions, the broadcaster will announce during a press conference the selection of Gonzalo as the Spanish representative that will travel to Belize. After the official announcement, the broadcaster will begin the search for the appropriate song for Gonzalo by opening, in this case, a second submission period for Spanish songwriters who wanted to send their proposals. Thereafter, at the end of that process, it will be announced in early last September the title of the song that Gonzalo will perform at the Junior Contest, doing both the studio recording and the official music video during that same month, personally releasing the song at a press conference organized by the broadcaster in early last October, and its accompanying official music video a few days after, inviting us to play with our imagination like we used to do before the digital era. Now we will analyze further on this singular proposal with which Gonzalo will be introducing himself in the Junior Contest stage. The melody is a pop track which has many reminiscences with the kind of songs that we used to listen in the animated films from Disney, adapted to the musical theater style of which Gonzalo is quite experienced. And precisely taking into account the previous comment, Gonzalo's vocal skills are widely known, especially for those who follow him in the world of musical theater, having an innate ability to convey a lot of emotion and charisma in a very natural way, both on and off stage. Regarding the lyrics, it has been written in Spanish and English with a phrase in French by Gonzalo himself together with a trio of Spanish songwriters, who turns out to be again the same ones that composed the Spanish entries of the two previous years, performed by Sandra Valero and Chloe de la Rosa, as we already know, being this the third consecutive entry for the Junior Contest, which are now already considered as today the dream team for the Junior edition entries, taking into account the fantastic results they have achieved in the last two editions. About the contest behind it makes an ode to imagination, starting by the song's title itself in Spanish and English, which evokes the great tales from the childhood, with which it is intended to promote the creativity through reading and the diverse fantastic words that have accompanied us since we were children, by also adding a bit of nostalgia, especially of those of us who are now adults. Reading it with much more detail, it takes us to the universe imagined and dreamed by Gonzalo, disconnecting from internet to connect with the books he likes the most. There are multiple references to diversity of characters from many child tales, like Milou, Tintin's companion known in English-speaking countries as Snowy, Peter Pan, Alice, Isadora Moon, Greg from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Asterix and Obelix, and even Naruto, although in this case it is from a manga series, as well as to many fantastic worlds like Treasure Island, Lilliput, Narnia, Oz, or Neverland. All that while it is emphasized with the chorus that when he reads, everything is possible to him. The message transmitted with the track is pretty clear. We have to turn out the screens of all computers and smartphones, and we have to read much more books. In this era where everything is progressively more digital, we do not have to lose the habit on enjoying the uncountable words and universes presented in each book we read, which invites us to imagine and dream. I'm one of those who think that books never go out of style, they survive the passage of time and are part of the cultural and artistic world that literature has brought us for many centuries. Having seen more of this track that leaves much to the imagination, let's see now how he has portrayed his fantastic universe through the official music video. Now I'm going to put on my earbuds to see and listen carefully to this music video that Gonzalo is presenting to us. Starting to play in 3, 2, 1. A lot of books around. As it couldn't be in another way, it has to be in a library. The book is shaking. As the song's title, by the way. And the lyrics are written in that book. Little by little getting immersed into his universe. The chorus is amazing. This is not casual because Gonzalo himself asked to have a part in which he played piano. And he's now at the top of the table with a lot of books flying. I love all the cinematography throughout all the music video. He dressed as a pirate. Change of key. The chorus is very catchy, I have to say. Here goes the climax. Think about that's how we could do Peter Pan when he is surrounded by a starry sky. I missed out on all the previous scenes. Amazing! I like very much this music video, I have to say. I love the fact that it captures the essence of the track and the song itself for conveying its message pretty well, getting immersed in his universe throughout reading the books. And it also looks like a nugget for a music play, so he's completely in his element. Making a summary of all that I have commented so far, the Spanish entry for this year is absolutely fantastic. I like this proposal very much in all senses, the song, the topic, the message. It can be noticed that it is made for Gonzalo, in which he can perfectly showcase all of his skills as a singer, as a musical theater actor. In fact, for me, it is one of the most complete and well done proposals presented for the edition. I think that it has all the elements to be a winning entry, and it is also my absolute favorite without a doubt. For the staging in Belize, both Gonzalo and the delegation has stated that it will be a musical number condensed in 3 minutes, without giving too much details, so the possibilities for making it stand out are unlimited. In my opinion, I'm sure that Gonzalo will do a magnificent performance. He proved it when he sang a part of the song a cappella during his official presentation in the press conference that left me amazed. But I expect that it could be surprising and impactful enough to captivate the audience. Could he be able to make the difference and achieve a possible second victory for the Iberian country? We cannot make conclusions until we do not see his proposal presented live. It will be a matter of time until Gonzalo ultimately has the opportunity to step the big stage of Junior Eurovision and see what happens. This has been the Spanish proposal this year for the Junior contest. What opinion deserves in your case? Do you think like me that it is a quite complete entry, or do you think that there are other ones can stand out much more? Whatever is your opinion, let me know in the comments down below. I'm sure that the discussion will be quite interesting. And this is it for today's episode. Does this video has been of your taste? Then take a few moments to give a like, thus you can bring me your support and you can contribute for this content to be reach among more people. Subscribe to my channel and enable notifications by hitting the bell and follow me through my social media. Take care and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.